Welcome along to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen James, the channel that brings you all your need-to-know Rangers information, details, news, opinions, all for the grand price of absolutely nothing. That's right. If you want to subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll get daily videos. You'll get everything for free. I'm not a Patreon user. I don't believe in hiding my content behind a paywall. Fans should not have to pay for content on their team. That's my honest belief. So let's talk a little bit of transfer news. It is still, the transfer window is still open, at least for another 23 days until the 30th of August. I think it's 11 or 11:30. I'm not quite sure. Top of my head, I've got it written down somewhere so I don't forget, but I've just forgotten. Now, Rangers obviously have a plan A and a plan B. Plan A is if we get into the Champions League. Plan B is if we don't get into the Champions League. Obviously, there is, that. And I think, this is obviously going to be a situation where it will take it right down to the final days of the transfer window, given the second leg of the Dynamo Kiev tie coming up, and also the playoff round against either RB Salzburg or Twente Ashende of Holland. Now, Rangers have today been linked with a promising young player who's come through the Chelsea Academy, described as one of the most promising players to come through that academy. Now, as I'm sure you're aware, EPL clubs, top EPL clubs like Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, Aston Villa invest vast sums of money in their youth academies. They put a scouting network in place that goes worldwide. They search the world and the UK for the best talent. They bring that talent into their academies at a very young age and take it through that academy to develop it into their style and their ways of playing. And certainly the EPL clubs have a pretty good record of producing some very fine players. Now, the last, obviously, Chelsea Academy prospect we signed was, yes, Dujon Sterling, a very talented player, certainly someone who would run through brick walls for this club and can obviously play a number of different positions. Now, the latest name that we've been linked with is a move for a guy called Leo Castledine. From Chelsea. Leo Castledine is one of the most promising youngsters to come through the academy at Chelsea. Had a terrific season last season for Chelsea's youth team, and is reportedly Chelsea reportedly wanting him to get first team football now. Something that obviously they can't offer at this moment in time. One thing that is sort of, with the exception, I think, of teams like Liverpool, for example, a lot of the EPL clubs do, ship a lot of their youngsters out on loan, and don't actually use them in their first teams. Now, Leo Castledine, what do we know? Well, we know that he is 19 years old. We know that he is from Kingston upon Thames in London, just under 6 foot. He is an attacking midfielder, right-footed attacking midfielder. He joined Chelsea on the 1st of July 2023, formally. His contract expires in 2027. His last contract extension was just December last year. He can play in a number of different positions. Now, he prefers to play in the attacking midfield role, seen very much as a 10, certainly a position that Rangers are reportedly interested in recruiting in that attacking midfield role. Now, with the current options only really being Tom Lawrence, with the likelihood of Alex Lowry to leave, Todd Cantwell to leave, and Yanis Hadji to leave, this does really present an issue for Rangers if they wanted to continue to use a 10, which does seem very much, the Clement system. We do need someone to play in that position. Now, he can also play central midfield. He can also play right midfield as well. He's clearly got that flexibility and that hybrid midfielder kind of ethos around him, very much in the same way that Dujon Sterling has that. Now, in terms of his stats, Castledine has spent all of his, his youth career coming through the Chelsea system. He did have a brief spell, a youth spell for Wimbledon, but then was snapped up by Chelsea. So let's have a little look through what he's done, where he's played, how he's acquitted himself. Now, for Chelsea's under 18s, he's played 47 times, scoring 18 goals and 6 assists. As part of their under 21s, he's played 45 games with 14 goals, 10 assists, 24 goal contributions in 45, pretty decent. In Chelsea Youth League, 10 appearances, 4 goals. And for Chelsea himself, he made 1 appearance for Chelsea's first team, which was, I believe, in the Carabao Cup. I think that was where it was. So let's have a quick look at where he's played. He's got experience in the under-18 Premier League, the Premier League 2, the UEFA Youth League. He's also made appearances in the EFL Trophy, the FA Youth Cup, the EFL Cup, which was the Carabao Cup. I think it's changed sponsor now. Premier League 2 playoffs he has made, but he's never appeared for Chelsea in the Premier League or the FA Cup, which obviously are England's two main competitions, but has, like I said, made that one first team appearance for Chelsea in the League Cup in England. So, most of his experience has come at youth level. He's certainly a promising up and coming talented player, someone who Chelsea rate very, very highly by all accounts. Now, there are teams in the EFL Championship who are interested in taking him on loan. Reportedly, Aberdeen are also interested in taking him on loan as well. Now, Rangers apparently want to take Castledine on loan and have an option to buy at the end of that loan spell. Philippe Clement did make it quite clear, didn't he, that we need to cut down on the use of loans. It's very much about retaining your players, so you're not obviously constantly having to rebuild as players obviously depart. The more loans you have, the more replacing you've got to do. That was certainly something that that Clement sort of spelled out. A lot of the deals we've done recently, the Diamande deal, the Cortez deal, have been loans with obligations to buy, so that we know that those players, whilst on loan, will eventually sign for Rangers. So it's not going to be a short-term thing, as it was with Abdallah Sima last season. Now, there is a slight sticking point to this whole negotiation. Now, Rangers, like I said, want a loan with an option to buy. Chelsea apparently don't want to sell at this stage. They very much want just a straightforward loan with no option to buy. I think Chelsea very much want to see, how this young lad acquits himself in first team football, how he goes on to play. Now, Rangers would be one of the most attractive options for a club like Chelsea. Chelsea are a club that have a European pedigree, having won the Champions League, having won several league titles. Obviously, last season was not exceptionally successful under Mauricio Pochettino. And, this season, the pre-season they've had so far, including that defeat to Celtic, hasn't been particularly successful either. However, they are a club that has aspirations to get back into the top four of the Premier League, has aspirations to play European football, and obviously has the aspirations to go to places where you play in front of big crowds, like you do in the Premier League. So Rangers obviously has the big crowd. It has Ibrox, or Hampden Park as it is for the moment. We have the European football that we can offer as well. All useful things that I think are on Rangers' side. Like I said, the main sticking point is the terms of any loan deal. So at this moment in time, any negotiation is being held up by that situation that Chelsea, like I said, don't want an option to buy put into the contract. Guys, I'd love to know what you think. Personal opinion would be, look, I think at this stage, we're looking at where we are as a club, looking at what we need as a club, looking at the fact that finances are tight. And there are, I think, top other priorities, real priorities in this team. I think we need a number 6. I think we need a striker. I think we need another centre-back. I think we need a right back. If we can get someone like Castledine, who looks a very talented player, excellent distribution, has an eye for goal, good assister, good crossing of the ball, use of the ball is very good, reads the game very well, has come through, like I said, a very, very good youth system at Chelsea. So I think it would be a useful signing if we could get it across the line. It will be tricky. There is, like I said, a sticking point. Let me know what you think in the comments down below this video. Thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. As always, on the way out, if you can do me 2 favors. 1, smash that like. It beats the algorithm. And 2, remember always,